Now let's turn the time over to Malcolm.
Thanks, Kim. And we are joined by Leslie Ring-Adams, who is a doctor of Chinese medicine. And as we were saying before, acupuncture and pregnancy, not things that most Westerners connect. Let's back it up just a little bit. Basically speaking, how does acupuncture work according to the Chinese model?
Well, the very traditional sense is it's this balance of qi, which is just energy, and blood that flows through our body.
Right.
And if we're sick or we have injury in our body, it's an imbalance of this flow. So
Yes.
acupuncture is thought to restore the flow and the balance in your body.
Right. Now, for cultural reasons, many people who aren't from the East don't regard that as a meaningful explanation. So what do you tell somebody who's coming to you for help and only wants to hear things in Western terms?
Well, I try to bridge between both of them because the Chinese, like I said earlier, have been doing this for a long time. But there has to be a bit more of a Western understanding as to how this works. So
Yes.
there has been some research over the past few years looking at how acupuncture has a role with this thing.
Right.
And we know that acupuncture can restore the certain hormones in our body to restore women's cycles. It can help ovarian response. It can help with endometrial lining, factors that could potentially inhibit someone getting pregnant. And if we can optimize these, we can increase our chances with things like IUIs or IVF.
Right. Now, for folks who don't know those particular
Yeah.
acronyms, tell us what those are.
IUI is an intrauterine insemination, and
Right.
IVF is in vitro fertilization. So just more advanced forms of assisted reproductive technologies.
Got it. Now, if a woman is interested in pursuing acupuncture as a way to conceive, how many treatments is she likely to need? What other preparation should she require?
Acupuncture in Chinese medicine as a whole looks at your body as a whole. So we look at all the systems involved, not just those that that are obviously apparent to reproduction. So we look at diet, we look at how the person's sleeping, what their digestion's like, what their stress factors are like.
Right.
And it all has a role, we believe, in helping someone get pregnant. So typically our first appointment, we do a holistic assessment looking at all of you, and then we set out a course of treatments. Typically it's probably treatments once a week for 3 months.
Right. So you don't just treat the condition, you treat the person.
That's right.
Now, half of persons are men.
Right.
So what about for men who are having a tough time making their wives' dreams come true, and hopefully theirs too?
Ideally, it's great to see both partners in the couple because I think we can influence lots of things with both male and female.
Yes. Now, without being crass, I imagine that some men who are watching imagine that acupuncture for this purpose would be, shall we say, uniquely unpleasant.
Well,
could you dispel some?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of my favorite studies that was ever cited is there's a study in Canada done on increasing sperm production in prize-winning bulls who had decreased sperm production. So I always joke that I'm not going anywhere near a prize-winning bull, let alone a man in that regard. So the points we use are throughout the body, typically abdomen, legs, hands, feet, head.
Yes, all right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm sure that comes as great relief to a lot of the men who are watching out there. So, okay, well, let's talk about success rates. I mean, that's obviously anybody who's interested in this, they're thinking, well, what if it doesn't work for me?
There's actually just a meta-analysis that was just published recently compiling a bunch of IVF studies, and it showed that IVF, or acupuncture in conjunction with IVF, can potentially increase your chances of getting pregnant by 65%.
Great Scott.
Right.
Wow. Well, that's very impressive.
That's right.
And it's not prize-winning bull.
That's right.
All right. Okay, well, when we get back, Jenny is going to submit to some acupuncture. I give her credit for her bravery. And we're going to find out more about making a family grow even larger. Stay with us on HelpTV.